Hello guys, this is Olive.K, and tonight I will be doing the 8 values political test. Please keep in mind that this is for educational purposes only, okay? And with that out of the way, let me take this test and see where I lean politically, okay? Let's go. Alright, it says you will be presented with a series of statements. For each one, click the button with your opinion on it. Got it. Okay, the first question now, 70. Alright, let's see. Oppression by corporations is more of a concern than oppression by governments. Now, just a heads up, I'm probably going to break down why I think, how I choose these answers. Okay, I'm going to try to break them down really briefly. So let's do the first question. So, do I think oppression by corporations is not as bad as government? No, I disagree. I disagree. Okay. It says more of a concern. Actually, no, I agree. Corporations are more of a concern for oppression. Yeah, because less accountability, okay? Let's be real. So I agree. Now, yes, I do believe that. Okay. Now, next question. It is necessary for the government to intervene in the economy to protect consumers. Now, think about COVID-19. Think about what would happen if the United States did not intervene at all and did not do anything to help its people out, okay? It would not end well, trust me. Okay, sometimes the government needs to step in very key situations. Not all the time, but sometimes when it's completely out of the control of the average citizen, government needs to step in and offer some aid, okay? So I do agree that government, it is necessary for the government to intervene in the economy to protect consumers. Okay, so I agree. Okay, so there you go. The freer the markets, the freer the people. I disagree. Actually, I disagree strongly. Because trust me, we used to live in an era where children were working the mines, the coal mines, okay? You've heard the saying, they yearn for the mines. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Anyways, this is the next question. It is better to maintain a balanced budget than to ensure welfare for all citizens. I disagree. Now, here's why, okay? Here's why. Alright. When you create a baseline for your citizen population, what you do is you, in theory and in reality, in a lot of countries, in fact, what you do is you create an environment on which that when people fall down, they have some cushioning, right? When they fall down, right? No matter who you are in life, if you take a big risk, you lose your job, you lose your house. In theory, there's some cushioning below you, and that is important. It's very important. Okay, so I disagree. Sometimes you need, like in certain situations, welfare for all citizens, certain degrees of welfare is important and is a sign of a strong nation. A strong nation invests into their citizens. Weak nations do not. Think about it, guys. Think about it. Okay. So yeah, I agree, but it's not. I don't want to say strongly. I want to say disagree. Okay. Not strongly disagree. That's a bit too much for me. Okay. Now, let's see here. Not politically. Publicly funded research is more beneficial to the people than leaving it to the market. Oh gee, how did the COVID-19 vaccine get developed, huh? Publicly funded research. Oh wow, shocker, right? Agree. Oh, I should have went strongly. Nah, that's true. I agree. I agree. There's some niche, non-important things that the private industry can be better at, like gaming consoles, cosmetic surgery, stuff that's not literally tied to you living or dying. Those things, yeah, I'll leave it to the private industry for that. But let's move on to this question here. Um, Tariffs on international trade are important to encourage local production. No, no, I disagree. What you end up doing is a trade war, which hurts local businesses and helps corporations like Walmart and Amazon a lot more. Trust me, they want those tariffs. Um, from each according to his ability, to each according to his needs. Karl Marx was so right. There you go. Okay, that was a little communist manifesto on that question. Anyways, it would be best if social programs were abolished in favor of private charities. Strongly disagree. Okay. Strongly disagree. Sorry. You should know why. Taxes should be increased on the rich to provide for the poor. Agree, because, listen, just because you're wealthy doesn't mean you're driving on roads that you paid for yourself. You're driving on public roads. You're using public roads. You're using public utilities. Okay? Okay? That's it. That's all I have to say. Anyways, about that. Inheritance is a legitimate form of wealth. I want to say neutral because I like the idea of getting money from my parents. But let's be real. Disagree. Just being born with just being born with the right last name is not legitimate. Sorry, I disagree. Basic utilities like roads and electricity should be publicly owned. Yes, so that you don't create multi-tiered cities with the lower tiers having the least safe, least efficient utilities possible. Generally you want every city, let's say the United States, you want to go to any part of America and roughly see the same or similar quality roads and electricity, infrastructure. You want to see, you want to see a standard, okay? You want to see a standard and you want to see it met, okay? That's important, okay? Government intervention is a threat to the economy. Neutral. I want to say neutral because, like, it depends. If it's like a really, really corrupt government, right? Then they could, like, be very insular and, like, nepotistic and only help themselves out, and then they will, like, send the citizens down the wrong path economically, and that could cause your society to collapse. So I'm neutral because, on the other hand, government intervention, like I said previously, helped us get through COVID-19. So I'm very neutral on this. Those with a greater ability to pay should receive better health care. Strongly disagree. At the end of the day, you are a human being. You are one human being with one life. It doesn't matter what your income is. Okay? We should be prioritizing providing healthcare to the greatest number of people, not the fewest. Sorry, we live in a first world country for a reason. Now, the next question. Quality education is a right of all people. It's a little vague, but when you talk about education, when this says education, quality education, I think of reading, writing, arithmetic, right? The things that you need to be able to properly interact with your society, get a job, be able to communicate with other humans, cooperate, things of that nature. I strongly agree. Education is a right of all people. All people should have the right and the ability to educate themselves and others, okay? Strongly agree. The means of production should belong to the workers who use them. Agree. The United Nations should be abolished. Strongly disagree. Sorry. I like living in this extremely peaceful era. Now, there are little battles here and there. Just, look at the United States' history. But overall, it's a pretty peaceful time. Not as many human beings have died to war. Anyway, speaking of war, military action by our nation is often necessary to protect it. No. I did not feel threatened by the country Iraq. Sorry, I did not feel any danger at all of being invaded by Iraqi soldiers from the former Ba'athist Party. The Saddam Hussein Ba'athist Party. I did not feel any fear from an invasion, so it's not always valid. I support regional unions such as the European Union, the EU. Oh yeah, very much. I love, to my European viewers, if you're watching this video, hello, and I support you. It is important to maintain our national sovereignty. I'm neutral on it. I understand. As long as we have borders, we gotta maintain them. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, a united world government would be beneficial to mankind. So just a singular government. I think it's too soon. I think it's literally too soon, if you ask me. I don't think we're quite ready for a one world government. I think, I want to say unsure. I'm really unsure about this. I just don't like the idea of if the one government goes bad, the whole world suffers, But I like the idea that eventually, as our species progresses, it would be logical to have a singular umbrella government, like an Earth government, for example. That makes sense, but not now. It is more important to retain peaceful relations than to further our strength. Yes, I agree. Not strongly, but I definitely agree. Peace is more profitable than war for, let's say the regular citizens. War is only profitable to defense contractors, defense manufacturers. War has no benefit to your neighbors, right? To the mom and pop shop, down the street. It has no benefit at all to those people. Sorry. Wars do not need to be justified to other countries. I strongly disagree. Every single war needs to be justified. If you cannot justify, for example, the United States invading Iraq in 2003 under false pretenses, lying about WMDs, okay? Do you see where I'm at? Do you see where I'm going? See where I'm going? Okay? Yes, come on. Strongly disagree on that. Military spending is a waste of money. It's not a waste of money. It just has to be accounted properly. It just has to be accounted properly. It has to be, the budget has to be tracked accurately, and it just has to be spent correctly. Um, International aid is a waste of money. Disagree. Some of these answers are, I can't really offer much commentary on some of these. My nation is great. Neutral. Research should be conducted on an international scale. Strongly agree. You want as many people giving their inputs as possible. Think of peer review. Now, scale that on an international stage. International peer review, right? What's this question? Governments should be accountable to the international community, of course. Even when protesting an authoritarian government, violence is not acceptable. Is it weird for me to say it's not acceptable, but it's bound to happen if you push people too far? Does that make sense? Like, of course, I don't want people to get hurt. I don't want innocent. One second. I don't want innocent people's businesses to be destroyed. I'm not a monster. But at the same time, with the authoritarian government stripping you of your rights, you need to fight back. So let me see. Let me read this question one more time. Even when protesting an authoritarian government, violence is not acceptable. I actually disagree. I wanted to be neutral, but I'm sorry. Sometimes you need to force that authoritarian government to back off, and sometimes that means violence. That doesn't mean violence in the physical sense all the time. Sometimes it can mean property loss as well, or property destruction. My religious values should be spread as much as possible. Strongly disagree. Keep it to yourself, pal. Okay? Anyways, our nation's values should be spread as much as possible. Neutral. It depends on the values. There are obviously good values and bad values. It is very important to maintain law and order. God, if it wasn't for certain people I won't mention here, I would agree with this statement. I think laws and a sense of order is important. But, we live in a world with BS laws. Okay. And, order, I swear, some people mistake the word order with being passive, right? I swear people think order is the same as being passive. I don't know. I will be honest with you. Neutral, unsure. Okay. So the general populace makes poor decisions. If you're talking about the body of the citizenry, is that the word? Yeah, it's true. Like, you can't expect, I don't know, for example, hundreds of thousands of people to have the collective knowledge that is, like, really high, right? Like, the higher the group of people in a group, the lower the intelligence seems to go, right? But if you grab any one individual out of the group, it varies quite a bit, right? You can find a really smart, thoughtful person in that crowd. You can find a low educated, voter, right? For example, I do agree the general populace makes poor decisions. It's true. Physician assisted suicide should be legal. Yeah, I agree. Living shouldn't be like a punishment. Living should be like a blessing. And some people, they cannot receive the blessing of life. because of, circumstances. Okay, let's see here. The sacrifice of some civil liberties is necessary to protect us from acts of terrorism. Disagree, my friend. The terrorists win when you lose your civil rights. Trust me. Government surveillance is necessary in the modern world. Disagree. It's not very necessary. In fact, it could be very detrimental to people's ability to be honest and open. The excuse me. The very existence of the state is a threat to our liberty. Nope, not at all. I disagree. We are not barbarians. We are civilized people living in a first world nation. Sorry, not sorry. Regardless of political opinions, it is important to side with your country. Disagree. This is literally a Republican question, This is a question that if you agree, I swear, if you agree with this question, right? You're a Republican. I'm sorry. Okay. All authority should be questioned. Yes. A hierarchical state is best. Now, what is hierarchical, my friends? Hierarchical, I believe, refers to like family member to family member, like from father to son, from mother to daughter. This does not indicate that they're picking leadership based on merit. It's literally nepotism, right? Let me see. Hierarchical, my bad. What did I say earlier? Hierarchical. Of the nature of hierarchical, arranged in order. The bureaucracy logo. What does? Let's double check real quick. Arranged according to people's or things level of importance. Oh, hierarchical. Oh, okay, never mind. Was I thinking of heretical? I was thinking of heretical, not hierarchical. Heretical. Okay. Hierarchical. So like hierarchy of competence, right? You just stack things based on importance. You want the pilots to be the pilots. You don't want just anyone to be a pilot. Okay. It is important that the government follows the majority opinion even if it is wrong. Disagree. Oh, no, I was neutral. Fudge. I should have put disagree. It's okay. I was unsure. I'll take that. I'll take it. The stronger the leadership, the better. Now, what do they mean by stronger, right? Stronger physically? No, they don't mean that, of course. Do they mean stronger in the sense of their leadership ability? I would say yeah. The stronger the leader, the better. Yeah. Democracy is more than a decision-making process. Yes, democracy is more than voting. Okay. I know, that sounds silly, right? No, democracy, in my opinion, is a lot more than just voting for the president, okay? It's a lot more. For those of you non-US viewers, I was talking about the US presidential elections. And no, I don't think democracy is only voting once every 4 years. No, sorry, I disagree. So I will put agree. It's more. It's more. Environmental regulations are essential. Agree. Self-explanatory. A better world will come from automotive science and technology. Or sorry, a better. Oh, please stop. A better world will come from automation, science, and technology. Automation, science, and technology. Okay, so I agree. I agree. Not strongly, but I do agree. Trying to relieve the workers' stress, give them some time to actually improve themselves individually and, you know, collectively. Let's see. Children should be educated in religious or traditional values. Now, if you answer agree or strongly agree, I'm sorry, this is another question. I hate to break it to you, but if you agree with this, you're a Republican. Now, I'm not going to tell you in this video whether that's right or wrong. You decide for yourself, okay? Strongly disagree. Traditions are of no value on their own. On their own merits, traditions have no values. Traditions are only valuable as long as the people who practice those traditions value them. If they do not value those traditions, they die. They cease to be. Religion should play a role in government. Disagree, highly disagree, sorry. Churches should be taxed the same way other institutions are taxed. I agree. Climate change is currently one of the greatest threats to our way of life. Agree. Or sorry, strongly agree. It is important that we work as a united world to combat climate change. Agree, strongly agree. Very strongly agree. Society was better many years ago than it is now. I disagree. We're always progressing forward. Okay, we have to go forward. We have to go forward, not backwards. Okay, we're not going to become animals anytime soon. Sorry. It is important that we maintain the traditions of our past. Yes, honor your people. Take personal responsibility. Be creative and strong. Yes, these are all important. Yes, maintain traditions of the past. Not always. I'm neutral. Some traditions are terrible, trust me. It is important that we think in the long term beyond our lifespans. It's very important. Reason is more important than maintaining our culture. Yes. We can survive if our culture changes, but we cannot survive without reason. Drug use should be legalized and decriminalized. I strongly agree, and here's why. If you are addicted to a substance, that is a medical problem. That is not a criminal problem. If that is the only thing you did wrong in life, is be addicted to a substance, you need medical treatment. You don't need to be spending any time behind bars. Sorry. Not sorry. Same-sex marriage should be legal. Strongly agree. Everyone should enjoy their lives with who they please. Life is too short. You really need to enjoy those moments with the person you actually care about. Okay? No cultures are superior to others. No cultures are superior to others? I disagree. There are some pretty degenerate cultures in America. Trust me. Oof. Just check out the Deep South, for example. Ugh. sex outside of marriage is immoral. Disagree. Strongly disagree. Sorry. If we accept migrants at all, it is important that they assimilate into our culture. It's neutral. Why is it neutral? Because from the research that I've done, right, guys? The research that I've done when it comes to well, actually, this says migrants. I was thinking immigrants for a second. No, migrants. No, no. It doesn't matter. If they can communicate to us and they can do their jobs, they're coming in, they're going out. They're migrants. Okay, they're migrating. It's in the name. My bad. Migrate. To migrate. Okay? It's not that important. Sorry. Abortion should be prohibited in most or all cases. Strongly disagree. We are talking like, I don't know if you can tell, but I can't give birth to children. But if I could, I would consider abortion to be my human right if I could. Okay, I'm speaking from a selfish point of view. I do believe that if I was someone who could give birth, that I would believe that it is my right as the carrier. Hear me out. As the carrier, it is my choice and my responsibility to choose the fate of the fetus, right? We're talking about a fetus, like a zygote or a gamete. We're literally do your research, okay? Look up the percentage of abortions done before the first trimester. Please look it up on Google, okay? Educate yourself. How often do abortions happen before the first trimester? Okay? Gun ownership should be prohibited for those without a valid reason. Yes, I strongly agree. You need a valid reason. Now, in America, this might be a hot take, because I agree. Like if you have no goddamn reason to own I don't know, let's say a sniper rifle. Well, let's be realistic. The average American can't afford a modern sniper rifle. Let's say a handgun. Okay, you go into a gun store. You're trying to get a gun. They go, oh yeah, oh, you like guns? Yeah, I like shooting guns for no reason. Like, really, mofo? Now, that's how I would feel. Now, if I were to consider my culture America, I would be neutral. So I will just click neutral for now. I have this strong feeling that you shouldn't own a gun without a valid reason. But the United States culture is so horny for guns. I don't know. I support single payer universal health care. Thank you. Bernie Sanders, what's up? Anyways, prostitution should be illegal. Disagree, strongly disagree. The illegality, hear me out, guys. Even if you don't engage in prostitution, even if you don't pay for, let's say, escorts, is that the politically correct term? Or prostitutes themselves. Yeah, even if you don't pay for prostitutes, even if you don't work in the prostitution industry, it should be legal for their safety and for the safety of the clients that are involved in the act itself. It should all be safe, okay? And ultimately, less people would be tempted to work in the prostitution industry if, I don't know, they could afford a college education. How about that? Okay, I'm sorry. Maintaining family values is essential. Not always. To chase progress at all costs is dangerous. Agree. Genetic modification or GMO. Actually, no, this isn't GMO. This is just GM. Genetic modification is a force for good, even on humans. It's. I agree. I agree. There's so many pros to it. There's some cons, but there's so many pros to it. We should open our borders to immigration. Yes. Yes, open our borders. We need more people. Trust me. We want to build the greatest country on earth. And in order to do that, we need to bring in the best minds, the most motivated people from all around the world to come here to the United States so that we can build the greatest country in human existence. Anyways, governments should be as concerned about foreigners. Why do I say it like that? Foreigners. Governments should be as concerned about foreigners as they are about their own citizens. No, I don't know. I don't like the xenophobic nature of this question. It feels xenophobic. Let's say neutral, because anything like you're just asking me like, oh, do I want to be xenophobic, right? Like, seriously, you strongly agree you're a xenophobe. You strongly disagree you're a xenophobe. Think about it. You prioritize your citizens over foreigners, which implies that you don't trust foreigners, you don't like foreigners, you don't like foreign labor, which, you know, spoiler alert, that's what migrants are, okay? And then you do the flip side. You're always concerned about foreigners, and you leave your citizens behind. So either way, it's bad. Neutral seems to be best for this situation. Ooh, I'm almost done. Dang, I went through this fast. 69 questions. All right. All people, regardless of factors like culture or sexuality, should be treated equally. Yes. Okay, now the final question. It is important that we further my group's goals above all others. Further my group's goals. So when I think of my group, from a nationalistic standpoint, right? The United States of America. I am an American by birth, jus sanguinis, blood of the soil, I believe it's called. It's been a while since I've read up on my Latin. But yeah. If I think about it in those terms, no. Okay, let's see the results. Okay, guys, let's go through the results together. Okay, let's see here. Economic axis, socialist. Ooh, look at that bar. Woo! Anyways, diplomatic axis, peaceful. Wow, guys, look at that. Look at that. Civil axis, liberal. Ooh. You decide what that means. And they're telling me I float more liberal than authoritarian. I think liberal is far more agreeable than authoritarianism. Sorry. And societal axis, very progressive. Very, very, very progressive. Thank you. Closest match, libertarian socialist or libertarian socialism. I'm going to have to work on that. I'm going to have to work on that libertarian part. I'm going to have to educate myself and I'm going to have to work on my more neutral stances on some of the questions so that I can improve my political ideology. Okay? So basically, here is the little cheat sheet at the bottom. I will be sharing this with my community soon. Thank you. If you, for some reason, are watching the whole video, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, I am done. I'm going to get out of here. Take care.